Alrighty, so we are going to replace a bunch of this stuff. That goes with this fuel heater. I'm not deleting it. I've had issues with doing that. So, we're not going to delete it. But, we are going to replace some stuff. Some of this I've already had off, some of it I didn't. So let's just hope we could just pop it right back off. Not have too hard of a time. Like we currently are. There's a little bit of diesel in there still. Luckily I do have a oil pan just right there. Okay. It's gonna fight me every little bit. Smells like good diesel, even though it's like 4 years old, 5 years old at this point. This will be about 4-ish. I have a new hose for this, so I'm not worried about destroying it. So let's move these clamps off. There we go. I don't believe I've ever had that end off. So I'm just going to cut it. Like I said, I have a new hose for it and I know it's correct. So we're just going to cut it. Because, yeah, I'm tired of fighting it. There we go. Boy, that that was all kinds of barbs on there. Yeah, that was gonna be a pain to get off. Wow. Yeah, that definitely wasn't gonna come off very easy. Okay. Okay, let me get the wiring out of the way. Besides that, pretty sure it goes up that direction anyways. And how does this bowl come off? Because this is a fuel heater in the center, and this is a bowl under it. There's also a strainer in there too. Okay. I now have a chair to sit in. $17. So I never had this off. I never took it apart because I knew if I did, I'd have to replace all the gaskets and everything. Because let's face it, it's old. It is very, very old. So, which is the reason why we are here in the first place. But yeah, definitely smell that diesel. It's definitely getting some age to it. Yeah, let's pop that off. Take a sneak peek under. Because I think I just need to spin that. Because I have an O-ring for both ends. Then with an 8mm Allen, goes up through the center, and that should allow you to take out the portion that bowl screws into, and will allow the fuel heater itself to drop out. So yeah, the reason why we need to do that is because we need to change the O-ring. It's definitely on its last leg too. So here's what that looks like. Easy enough. Set that off to the side. And the O-ring is this guy. Why is it in pretty bad shape? But it's probably original, so it's not really that surprising, I guess. So this deal I think I'll clean up a little bit. Yeah, it won't take much. Just clean it up with a little bit more diesel, really. All I'm going to do. And but I want to double check back up in there with the phone again. Yeah, that surface is good. Anyways, looking at this, there's a nut in the center that holds the screen, which the screen didn't look too bad, so that's good. Good to see that. But yeah, it didn't look too bad, so that's good though. So fuel comes through the center there. So on that goes to the fuel pump. Yeah, because that goes to the center, that one's off to the sides, I guess. So it sucks it through the screen, up through the center, out the one barb, out this barb, through the hose, into the fuel pump. Which that's a new fuel pump, by the way. Okay, the bowl is now cleaned up, ready to go. So now I need the stuff to go back in. So now we have the new strainer. That goes in, just like so. Actually seems to just float there. It's hitting the bottom, we're good. That's just right. And it came with a new nut, so we're going to use it. So we'll tighten this up just a little more than hand tight, let's say. Or finger tight, just a little more so it doesn't come loose. So just use those needle nose pliers again. That should be good enough. Now I do need some oil to lube the O-ring, because this whole housing will spin up in there. So I want to make sure we lube the O-ring, keep from ripping it. And of course, comparing it to the old, as expected, the old one's thinner because it was smashed. It was smashed. So yeah, get a little bit of oil. And go from there. I'm just using engine oil because it's what I have available to me right now. Diesel would probably work, but I have engine oil I've been using to build this engine, so we'll just use it. Make sure it's nice and oily. I'm doing both sides just to make sure we're good to go. Pop it into its home. Double check, make sure it's in its home. Nah, I'm not worried about oil getting in it. It's a diesel, it'll burn it. So we're not gonna worry about it. Okay. And find the 17 again. After I clean off my cans. Okay. We'll tighten her up. That should be plenty. And that should be done. Other than the new hose. So I got a new hose to go from here to there. So we'll put that in. Matter of fact, it's still in its Cummins part box. Yeah. I doubt there's really anything on there, but there's a part number. Of course, a genuine Cummins, so we good. Of course, we'll need our old clamps to put back on there. Some may say you should replace them, some say you don't need to. These still seem to have some springy action to them, so I'm not worried about it. So I think something else I'm going to do is go blow some air through this hose. Okay, even got the part number in the hose. That's pretty common with a lot of this stuff, even with John Deere. That's pretty common to see. So pop the clamps on the hose. And be sure to clock them where we can get the pliers back on it. And push it on. Of course, this one is going to fight us a little. There we go. Clamp on. Make sure that one's in. There we go. And it has a way better bend in it than the original too. I didn't even trim it. Now that one is bent good. There's not a kink in it. The old one had a little kink in it, as you can see. So that's good. Yep, that's good. So hopefully those are clocked good enough. I think I will turn that one away from this pump so we don't catch our hand on it. We'll set it right there. I still want to be able to get some pliers on there because you never know, we may have to do something with this in the future. And the engine won't be out, so make sure we can get to it. But yeah, that's it as far as, you know, fuel heater goes. Don't want to forget to hook that back up though, because might need that to do fuel heat and things, which is the whole point of keeping it. So that is it. But pretty easy to do with it out of the pickup, that's for sure. But definitely well worth it. I don't think anybody's been in it, you know, since new. So, you know, 1997 parts getting replaced with 2024 parts technically. We're putting on in 25. So yeah, pretty happy with that. I just got to pick up my mess. So 17 millimeters, some pliers for these clamps, and to take off that one nut, tighten it up a little bit. I mean, you could put a wrench on that little strainer nut, but you know, it won't be on there very tight anyways, so pliers work just fine for me. But it wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't 17 millimeter, but I never did check it. I guess I could. I do have the old one still, and it is bigger. So Yeah, it is bigger than 17. I don't know if a 19 would even fit it either, but anyways. So we're good to go. So that should be it for this one. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll catch you in the next one. See ya.